Welcome to the show. I am your host, Lance Single, and this is Pseudosciences University. Now, look, I am a late blooming content creator, so I'm going to need a lot of your support. If you're new here, please subscribe, and everyone hit the like and comment. Check. What I want to do today, look, I didn't really know how to have this conversation. What I want to discuss is stars, plasmas, and extraterrestrial luminaries, or, luminaries, or whatever. And one thing I noticed when I was setting this PowerPoint up, I realized that the entire universe is 99% plasma. Now, what is a plasma? It's written that plasma is our fourth state of matter. And if you don't understand that, it's like solid, liquid, gas, plasma. Each one of them reach a higher degree to the point that they ascend out of their regular form into the next phase, if you will. So from a gas, when gases are heated or ionized, they can become extremely hot or be ionized by extreme cold, right? Like cold fusion. Those things become plasmas. So what are plasmas? It are luminaries, like you got stars, planets. We get told that they're solid objects, but they're planets. They're plasmas. They're ionized gas. That's why they are emitting a light. Right? I know we think that that's the reflection of the sun, but it's actually rays of the sun moving across the solar system. Those rays are interacting with those gases and causing them to light up the way they do. Pretty much with the noble gases above the earth, and that's a different conversation. But which is plasmas as well. I really want to get off into the ionization of that is plasma. What another thing is, which is also plasma, are souls. The essence of man is a plasma. Electricity, form of plasma, right? And one of the indications that a human is dead, according to man determining whether he's dead or alive, outside of palpitating the pulse or listening for a breath, is no electrical. No electrical output, which is plasma. So I'll tell y'all the story. Once, when I was 11 years old, I was burned by some hot water. Hot water pretty much covered most of my face, arm, chest, stomach, and they had to give me some type of medication, some drug to put me up under so that I don't be going through the pain, and they can degrade the flesh that bubbled off of me and wrap me up and stuff like that without an 11-year-old screaming and going through the intense pain of flesh missing. The first layer of defense actually is gone in those areas. Hold on. But my grandmother, my mother, and my uncle came to visit me. My grandmother called me. She said, "Hey, baby, we came up there to visit you today." And that's when I learned that they had given me medication and I was out of it. She was like, "But you was out of it, but we was there." I said, "I seen you." She said, "What do you mean you seen?" I said, "I was on the ceiling looking down. I seen Uncle Andre when he came in. He started crying, he covered his face, and he left out of the room. You hit Mama's hand and you told her to follow after him. Go with him." And she did, and you came right next to the bed and you held my hand. I was looking down. I said, "You had on a red shirt." She was like, "Yo, mama told you that." I was like, "Nah." So I told mama, "Come down here and tell her you ain't telling me nothing." And she said, "I ain't telling nothing." I seen it. I literally was out of my body, and I had somebody on the other end to affirm or confirm what I thought I dreamed was actually a reality. Right? So back to soul being a plasma, a light, right, or energy, and we know that data can be stored in energy. Data can be stored in plasma. They have microchips that they're making right now today, and which I will touch on. I actually have an article on it that I download or that I present. But there was an incident that got me on this idea, this uh, hypothesis and then theoretical journey on stars, plasmas, and luminaries, and the soul. Now here I'm gonna show y'all a video of the first, the first thing. This is how I got. This is what opened my mind to it. This experience. I was at my mother's house in the basement, and she called me upstairs. You know, the dog kept barking at the door. She kept going to the door. She wasn't seeing nothing. So she thinks she gonna, you know, see who it is out there. She gonna go look at the camera. She looked at the camera, which is the doorbell cam, and she seen this. And then called me up, and I'll show you guys. You see that right there? That can only be seen under this infrared camera. We could not go outside and see that. We couldn't look out the door and see that. It was pitch black. But this, I had to understand it. And I said, what could it be? Right? Solid, liquid, or gas, or plasma, or something else. But we know, I learned, I should say, that plasmas are more visible, or this particular frequency of plasma, I would say, is visible under infrared. Look at it. Y'all see that? One, two, and then it's got a little beam that follows it. It's like a beam that like leave behind some type of albedo on the ground or whatever. But watch it. Just notice it. Now I have more uh video of the same phenomena. It happened two times. So 1 year or like around August, and then another year around November or whatever. But here's the same day, and what I did is I left. So my mom's looking at her phone, and then I went to the panel, and I'm looking at the panel and seeing it. Try to refresh this.
We saw a ghost or something on the security camera. Make this go viral.
So the door is right here, right? And the camera is right next to the door. This is the porch. It's only one, two, three stairs. This is like maybe even level with the top step, but this up here is higher. And another thing, I was looking at this thing like it's like a low, is it a low vibrational chakra down here? If this chakras and stuff was real, this would be the lower chakra, which vibrates at a lower level or a lower frequency. And well, anyway, man, y'all get with me. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. If you know what I'm saying or you know what I'm getting at, leave a comment. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, that's funny. But I did do a PowerPoint. Let me see. Let's go to the PowerPoint. I did a PowerPoint on it. Let's make it. Let's do the whole thing. Set it up. It ain't great, but let's look at it. Plasmas, souls, and stars. A scholarly exploration on souls, stars, and eternity by Lance Murray. Hold on, before we do this, I got more video to show y'all. I think I should show you more video because I got to correlate this. I got to correlate this to why I think or sorry, connect to why I think souls and stars are the same, right? Because like right there, if that was a ghost, it was a disembodied spirit. And I just hypothesized based on the chakra theories is that it vibrates on a low frequency. That let's go to this. Let's go to this. Center for Science Education. Plasma. Plasma is one of the four common states of matter: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. Plasma is an electrically charged gas because I'm sorry. Plasma is an electrically charged gas because plasma particles have an electrical charge. They are affected by electrical and magnetic fields. So listen to that. Remember that. They are affected by electrical and magnetic fields. This is the main difference between a gas and a plasma. Plasma is charged gas molecules. A plasma is created when one or more electrons are torn free from an atom of gas. Atoms that have lost some or all their negatively charged electrons are called ions. An ionized atom has a positive charge because it's missing electrons, but still contains positively charged protons and neutrons with no charge in its atomic nucleus. A plasma is generally a mix of these positively charged ions and negatively charged electrons. Most plasmas are created when extra energy is added to a gas, which can occur when gases are heated at high temperatures. Atoms in hot gases are moving so fast that electrons can be knocked loose when they collide with each other. High energy photons from the sun, including gamma rays, X rays, or ultraviolet radiation, can create plasma by knocking electrons away from their atoms. Now, that's something very important as well. High energy photons from the sun, including gamma rays, X rays, or ultraviolet radiation, can create plasmas by knocking electrons away from their atoms. High voltage electricity, such as lightning strikes, can also create plasmas. This is something to really remember as well. Plasma is the most common state of matter in the universe. Matter in the universe, excuse me, matter in the plasma state is far more abundant than matter in the liquid, solid, or gaseous state. 99% of all matter, other than the mysterious dark matter that the astronomers have been puzzling over, is plasma. Most of the matter in the sun and other stars exists in a plasma state. Though common in the universe, plasma is less abundant on Earth. Regions of Earth's atmosphere called ionosphere contain some plasma that is created through ultraviolet radiation from the sun. This the upper layer of Earth atmosphere, the theosphere, the thermosphere, excuse me, and exosphere, and to a lesser extent mesosphere, also contain plasma mixed in with atoms and molecules of different gases. Above the atmosphere, Earth is surrounded by a magnetic field called the magnetosphere. Most of the particles in the magnetosphere are ionized plasma. Hear that? Plasma creates glowing lights, show light shows in the sky. Plasma in Earth magnetosphere sometimes flowing along Earth magnetic field towards the polar regions, creating a colorful light shows in the sky, which we call aurora, on the or northern or southern lights. These beautifully displays occur when energetic plasma particles collide with gases in the atmosphere, causing them to glow. Solar prominence, which are giant loops of glowing matter suspended above the sun, are another example of beautiful natural light shows created by plasmas. Though invisible to the eye, though invisible to the eye, the solar wind that is constantly streaming out from the sun contains large amounts of plasma along with various types of solar energy. Plasma can be created artificially. Some plasmas are created artificially by humans. Electricity and fluorescent lights creates a plasma. Colorful neon lights, often used in signs, also use electricity to convert gas molecules into glowing plasma. Certain types of flat screen televisions make use of plasma as well. All right, so we have a general understanding of plasma, right? These are all articles from science, and I'm not the science guy. I'm just the idea guy, the connect the dots guy. Um, I'm not ever claiming to be a scientist in that aspect of going to Harvard or studying or receiving a degree, you know, any of that. But what I do is I research the research that people have done, and then I present it with a narrative or conjecture on what I believe this is saying. And I usually run into as of lately, I should say, Chat GPT, and it it agrees with my hypothesis without me even giving it. You know, what I'm saying, hey, tell me what this means. But let's look at this. We want extraterrestrial life in the thermosphere, plasmas, UAP, pre-life, fourth state of matter. Okay, so back in 1996, let's go to the smoke room. Let's go to the smoke room. It's not the smoke room. There we go. Okay, back in 1996, NASA sent several missions to space for whatever reason they said. But back when I was younger, the video used to come on cable and it had its own station. And I would often sit up there and I would look at it and contemplate like little phenomenon that you would see, like little lights floating across the screen, and you're just like, what the heck? And I would think those was UFOs, but they would give an explanation like, ice particles or debris or sometimes satellites and things of that nature. And because it's NASA, it was easily accepted. But I kept looking and kept researching, and I ran into this dude named Martin Stubbs years and years later. This is after they stopped showing the cable vision stuff, the cable NASA channel. Martin Stubbs recorded all of that shit. And right now you can check some of it out on YouTube. Actual NASA footage. With NASA, I went to NASA and I tried to download these missions. They're called STS missions. And I tried to download or at least look at some of the archive footage, and it's no longer there. It's not accessible. But as it was carrying out these missions, they were experiencing a phenomenon in the sky, like and this phenomenon that they were experiencing, they were calling lights and blinking lights and starry like things. And it was in a movie I seen, a documentary. It was called "The Greatest Story Never Told." It was put together by several different people in the field, or that was studying or researching this, and they came up with some pretty good video footage of NASA talking about these lights or these beings or whatever. And here's an article discussing the findings. It's again, extraterrestrial life in the thermosphere, plasmas, UAP, pre-life, fourth state of matter. And I'm gonna share it again. Okay, the abstract. Plasmas up to a kilometer in size. That's about a mile and a half or something like that, I think. 1.9 miles or something. So, plasmas up to a kilometer in size and behaving similarly to multicellular organisms have been filmed in 10 separate NASA space shuttle missions over 200 miles above the Earth within the thermosphere. These, listen carefully, these self-illuminated plasmas are attracted to any, I'm sorry, are attracted to and may feed on electromagnetic radiation. They have different morphologies: cone shape, cloud, donut, spherical, cylindrical, and have been filmed flying towards and descending from the thermosphere into thunderstorms, congregating by the hundreds and interacting with satellites, generating electromagnetic activity. Approaching the space shuttles. Computerized analysis of flight path trajectories document these plasmas travel at different velocities from different directions and change their angle of trajectory, making 45-degree, 90-degree, and 180-degree shifts and follow each other. They've been filmed accelerating, slowing down, stopping, congregating, engaging in hunter predatory behavior, and intersecting plasmas, leaving a dust trail in their wake. Similar lifelike behaviors have been demonstrated by plasmas created experimentally. Plasmas may have been photographed in the 1940s by World War II pilots identified as Foo Fighters, repeatedly observed and filmed by astronauts and military pilots and classified as unidentified aerial anomalous phenomena. Plasmas are not biological, but may represent a form of pre life that, via the incorporation of elements common in space, could result in the synthesis of RNA. Plasma constitute a fourth state of matter and are attracted to the electromagnetic activity, and when observed in the lower atmosphere likely account for many of the UFO UAP sightings over the centuries. Okay. So these are the STS missions that had went down in around 1996. STS 48, 75, 80, 96, 101, 106, 115, 119, 123. All right. I'm about to show you one of the videos right now before we continue. This is NASA footage. This is, what do you say? STS 75 clip. Hold on, right quick. Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 and the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, and personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. All right, let's watch this. This is the STS mission 75. All right, so we are probably viewing this in, as said, seen before, ultraviolet spectrum or infrared spectrum or a combination of both. This is not a color video, right? It's too bright up here. Right here is the moon, and they'll tell you everything in this video. But this light is the moon is up here in the top right corner that's not visible at this time, right? And all these little, pay attention to these little starry things. See how they're moving in the upper atmosphere. This is authentic NASA footage recorded by Martin Stubbs via VHS. So I'm gonna speed it up, and they're moving through different spectrums, changing contrast to see better. That top line that you see is the neon gases that's above the Earth, the upper atmosphere, thermosphere, and the lower line that you see is the outer horizon. The camera is at an angle. If it was lower, then we would be inside of the atmosphere or that thermosphere, and you will see a greater distance between that upper line and the lower. Now that's the moon above. Now look at that. These are the stars. Let me put it back in real time. So they're moving into this spectrum of the moonlight. Look at that. Look at this. Billions and billions and billions and billions. Look at that. This is all plasma. This is under ultraviolet light.
And Columbia for Scott, that should be the same type of material. Okay, is it thicker or is it, because it looks like it might be a little thicker? No, it seems like it appears that way, but it should be the same thickness. Okay, and we modified the thermocouple as you said, and we'll modify the camera settings, and it'll be a few more minutes before we finish setting up. Okay, copy that, Scott. That camera was something that they noticed in their last data run.
See that? They just pulled it inside the bay. Look at that. That's right above. That's right above the earth, y'all. That's right above us. That's not millions and millions of miles away. And we see him at night. We don't see him in the day.
If you haven't adjusted the 35 millimeter intervalometer yet, you could adjust that to 2 seconds. If you've already passed that step, that's no problem. You can proceed. Okay. Go to 2 seconds on the intervalometer. No problem. Take a couple seconds to reset.
All right. Now let's go to the paper. Let's go to the paper, y'all. It says interstellar space and the upper atmosphere of Earth are permeated by plasma. Plasma are believed to constitute a fourth state of matter and may represent a form of pre-life or inorganic, non-biological life. Now we get taught that babies come from heaven. And we are also taught that when you die, you go to heaven. So listen what it said. It said pre-life or non-biological life. As detailed in this report, pulsating glowing plasmas up to a kilometer in size and behaving similar to a simple multicellular organisms have been filmed over 200 miles above the Earth within the thermosphere. You out? All right, bro. Tell her to be quiet. I'm recording. All right. As detailed in this report, figure 1 through 26, pulsating glowing plasmas up to a kilometer in size and behaving similarly to simple multicellular organisms have been filmed over 200 miles above the Earth within the thermosphere by 10 separate space shuttle missions: STS-48, STS-75, SCS-80, 96, 101, blah, 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 blah. We just looked at 75. Oh my God. When I show y'all what I'm about to show y'all. Now listen to what they're saying. Remember what we just saw and listen to what they're saying. These plasmas descend into the lower atmosphere of Earth and when observed may have been classified as unidentified aerial phenomenon, and some prefer anomalous phenomenon. As documented in this report, these plasma-like entities have been photographed congregating in the thermosphere above and diving into massive thunderstorms below, gathering around satellites, generating electromagnetic pulses into the space medium, approaching and appearing outside the windows of NASA's space shuttle, changing velocity and direction and making sudden 45-degree to 90-degree turns and following even colliding and intersecting one another. These glowing, pulsating plasmas in the thermosphere grow in size, replicate, are attracted to, and make contact and intersect one another, often releasing kilometers in length plasma dust trails in their wake. And and what? Figure 24? Okay. So they're calling them entities. These are entities. You feel what I'm saying? Oh my God. It's so much information on this, y'all. Like, where was we at? Where were we at? Right around here. Distant characteristics of life. Okay. They display all the characteristics of lifelike plasmas as defined by Alfin Theodorani and all these other people. Although plasmas in in the thermosphere engage in behavior in all respects, plasmas are not biological entities, right? So they're not made of matter as we are, or trees, or anything like that. And their actions are mediated by electromagnetic and other non biological factors, including the incorporation of radiated dust. Plasmas may have a high or low density, high or low temperatures, may be stable or unstable, and consist of positively and negatively charged particles, ionized atoms of gas, and whose basic interactions are electromagnetic. Let's go to a video. Again, I like to start. I'm gonna just push through. I like to start by showing this is a NASA video. I'm gonna speed it up so you can see that these things are moving. Watch. Independent. Let's go to it. So they rotating the camera. All right, it's the payload bay camera. They tell you that. I'm trying to get to that. So this is a camera. It's upside down. This is the Earth. So it's coming out of the back and it's aiming upside down. So it's looking up above the payload bay. And this is the Earth. That's right, that you see above it. That's the Earth, or the Earth atmosphere. See, so try to find this dialogue that they tell you that these are stars.
And either crew members on board Discovery or the payload bay cameras could make out the Mir space station as it came around the horizon and performed a on-orbit burn. That's not too surprising because right now Mir is about 850 nautical miles behind Discovery.
Mir should be above the moon as you look at it. Okay.
Our next event on NASA television will be our video highlights for flight day number 8.
NASA television.
These video highlights, which will last
Look at it. And this is just another camera. They could probably I think they do. There we go. Look at that. That's independently moving. They floating. This is Earth right below. So you don't think that these things are close to the Earth?
The Mir space station is now visible on the far left-hand side of the screen, about an inch from the bottom of this particular picture. And there were also a number of shooting stars in that view.
Hmm.
The camera has now moved to a point. Okay, the Mir space station is the small flashing light in the center, about an inch from
Camera Charlie on
the left-hand.
Look at all of this activity. I mean, it's a freaking VHS tape, you know, transferred to digital, right? Check out Martin Stubbs. He's passed away now, but his YouTube is still going. Martin Stubbs. That's where you can watch these videos. And I'm gonna speed it up so y'all can see the movement of them.
Slowly moving closer to the left-hand side and has very light flashing to it.
We think on the middle of the screen, way to the left-hand side.
Look at that. That's the stars above the Earth.
A lot of years.
And I even got a better video. Oh, let me just see this one.
A large number of shooting stars during this 5-minute or so period when we've been watching.
See, shooting stars.
And then moved. Control Houston, once again, we believe we were just able to spot the.
All right. Now watch this. They got a different camera showing it now. Different camera lens showing or viewing the same phenomena. Same day, background satellite broke from the cargo bay with a tether, with the tether line on it. So it's moving away from the shuttle, and they're trying to visually follow it.
Commander Andy Allen reported earlier that the tether apparently broke inside the boom in Columbia's cargo bay, with only about 10 meters of tether left attached in the cargo bay.
Downlink from camera A to you.
Columbia and the satellite now 77 nautical miles apart.
Okay, Columbia and a satellite are now 77 nautical miles apart. Right. So we know that, look at all of this stuff here. Yeah, the grainy video, it'll get better, but just bear with me. Look at this.
Getting that call reporting that the crew can see the tether and see the satellite. That's beautiful. This view showing
He's speechless.
the satellite. Again, just moving into sunrise. 81 nautical miles now from Columbia.
Look at all of that. Those are the stars in the sunlight. You see how they transparent now. You can barely see them. So we can't see them from the ground. But when they're in the moonlight, they bright and shining. When they're in the sunlight, they're transparent. They're barely visible and they're right up there with it. You just seen in another video that in the moonlight, they was bright. Like stars should be, how we see them. Now watch when they give a size of this thing here.
Franklin, we see a long line, a couple of star-like things, and a lot of things swimming in the foreground. Can you describe what you're seeing? Well, the long line is a tether, and there's a little bit of debris that kind of flies with us, and it's illuminated by the sun at such low angle. So there's a lot of stray light, and it's getting washed out quickly. But Claude is trying to do a quick, good job here, adjust the cameras. Copy that.
Hear the explanation that they give. These are the same thing that was with them that they call stars in the other video. This the same day, STS 75.
You know that description by the crew. This is the tether to the satellite. The satellite with 12, approximately 12 miles of tether still attached to it. Columbia and
The satellite with 12 miles of tether still attached to it. This is 12 miles of tether. That long line is a wire that you seen unraveling back earlier during this video. But how big is this? And you got to remember, they said that this debris is following us and all this, that, and the other, when they just told us that they 88 nautical miles away. Look at it.
over the west coast of northern Africa. The two spacecraft now 90 nautical miles apart. Controllers for the satellite that did have communications with it during the close pass between Columbia and the satellite.
That's a long distance to be able to see the whole thing 88 miles away, or nautical miles, which I believe is more or a little less than regular miles. But the highlight is the plasmas. These things are the stars, right? Which are I'm theorizing that they're souls.
It seems to resemble a much wider strand than we'd expect. Can you describe which way the satellite is visible on that strand?
All right, let's go to another video. Look at this. Listen to him. Look at that. So they're facing down on the earth. They're looking directly down on the earth, and these things are floating by. Hear that? Those was the stars. You hear what he said? Let's hear it again. Let's see what he saw. Let's look at what he saw. See that? Those are the stars. So we are taught that stars are light years and billions of years away. Yet in 1996, actual footage from NASA and confirmation by a voice of somebody who is working for NASA or an astronaut themselves, can't remember, I think it was an astronaut, that these things which we identify from the article as plasmas are the stars. Look at that. So, confirmation. Those are the stars. All right. Now let's look at this. This article is in January 26th, 2024 by Margaret Moga, Plasmas. Plasma Science and the Soul as Plasma. Let's read some of it. In A New Science of Heaven, Robert Temple shares his many decades interest in plasma science with the reader, giving a history of plasma science research, important scientists in the field, and recent findings. Temple was particularly intrigued by the two enormous Gordalewski dusty plasma clouds located within the Earth Moon system. Each of these clouds is 4.5 times the size of Earth, with an organized structure, one illustrated in the photo above. According to Temple, dusty plasma has emergent properties that suggest it may have intelligence. The Gordalewski clouds hovering over the Earth may well be vastly more intelligent than human beings. Shortly before he died, Dr. William Levengood told Penny Kelly that plasma is conscious and it responds to consciousness. Levengood did pivotal work on the science of crop circles, proposing ion plasma vortices as the most likely mechanism underlying the formation. That's interesting because I remember back in the day when they were showing like the two lights moving across the sky and actually making, and I thought that that was fake. Here, not in this the scientific article, not right here particularly, but the scientific articles that I'm using are more than they have several different places of you where universities are also displaying these findings. Okay, so what is a plasma? Fourth state of matter. observable in everyday life, solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. We heard that, right? Plasma is an ionized gas composed of positively and or negatively charged particles, which may have separated from the nucleus. A gas is typically converted to plasma in one or two ways, either with exposure of very high voltage cold plasma or an extremely high temperature hot plasma. Plasma is formed within the stars and is visible as auroras as the North Pole and the sun's corona. The plasma state is commonly generated by lightning and within fluorescent and neon lights. Recently, there have been many cold plasma technology advances with applications in medicine, wound healing and cancer treatment, agricultural, growth enhancement, combustion engines, increased inefficiency, and aerospace applications, hypersonic flows. Colin, okay, blah, blah, blah. Plasma science may also underlie the development of new trapped ion quantum computers. Early Russian scientists proposed that living organisms contain a form of plasma, which they termed bioplasma, consisting of ions, free electrons, and free protons. Their experiments indicated that bioplasma is concentrated in the brain and spinal cord and produced by mitochondria, as well as absorbed from the environment. In Inyushin's view, bioplasma is a cold plasma of highly structured collectively excitations produce. Hold on, let's read that again. In Inyushin's view, bioplasma is a cold plasma of highly structured collective exactations produced by the polarization of biological semiconductors, cell membranes. And we know that a cold plasma is a high electrical charge, right? And a lot of people that's in the medical field can also attest to the fact that um, in order for the brain or in order for the mind to communicate with the brain, it has to send electrical signals across the synapse, which then, once crossing, is converted into a chemical signal so that it may communicate with the brain, with the body. Right. So it had so our another point to look at to theorize or towards the theory that the soul is a plasma. All right, let's see. I said, thus a physical. All right, where are we? Did we read this? All right, in using cold plasma, blah, 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 blah. Thus, the physical body may have an animating plasma body coexisting with it that regulates and maintains health. At the time of death, the body plasma may separate from the physical body, which could account for many reports of a mist or cloud like formation that appears over the deathbed. Here's a deathbed mist supposedly caught on camera in China. In Glimpses of Eternity, Raymond Moody gives many first person accounts of this strange mist. For example, one physician reportedly seeing a mist over deceased patients. The mist had depth and complex structure, layers of energetic motion in it. Dr. Petey Fenwick and his wife Elizabeth, in their book, The Art of Dying, give more examples of the mist that leaves the body at death. So here we see that people have, there are others that also have this notion that souls are plasmas, right? So if souls are plasma, that means that you have to collect the data. The data that's being attained while you live on Earth has to be stored within plasma. And this article right here shows how today they're using plasmas to store technology, right? To store information. They're using plasmas to store information. It's a society with plasma science. How does plasma, this is from National Academy Press, Washington, D.C. Plasma Science, Enabling Technology, Sustainability, Security, and Exploration. This is 2021. So you see they're moving in this direction. They're this is crazy, man. It's like they slowly letting us in, but only some people can see it, right? And maybe that's why people such as I exist, so that we can get the information out, so that the common man can have a better understanding of what's really going on. And this is all, like I said, it's theoretical, of course. How does plasma science impact today's society? The internet, computers, cell phones, jet turbines, medical implants, lightning, solar cells, nanomaterials, advanced batteries, and spacecraft exploring our solar system are all enabled by plasmas. Stockpile stewardship, hypersonic flight, space weather. Indeed, our very national security relies on our understanding and mastering the complexities of plasmas, from magnetic fields generated throughout the universe to the earthly creation of states of matter that otherwise exist only in the center of stars, to exploring whether life can exist on exoplanets. All are enabled by plasma science. Perhaps our greatest present and future challenge is sustainability. How do we sustainably use the planet's resources while having ever more prosperous societies? How do we generate the power we need? How do we produce the essential chemicals and materials society needs? Plasma science can be a large part of addressing those challenges. We can envision a future in which plasma science aggressively stewarded can use the potential towards achieving a sustainable society by providing nearly unlimited sources of carbon free electricity, compact particle accelerators for imaging and cancer treatment, new materials, green chemical production, new modalities for medicine and agriculture, secure management of our nation's most strategic weaponry, and fundamental knowledge about the creation of the solar system and worlds beyond. Okay, so let's read some of this right here. Enabling the vision of the future through the support of plasma science is the topic of this report. Plasma is often called the fourth state of matter. We went through this: gas, liquid, solid, plasma. Plasmas are ionized gases. And so we're talking about the same plasmas. They're the same plasmas. The same plasmas. That's a correlation within itself right there. The sun, the soul, the stars, biolife, all this is same plasma. All right. Plasmas are perhaps the most abundant form of matter, accounting for 99.9% of the visible universe. So this is the same plasma, y'all. Stars are made of plasmas. The sun is a plasma. Life on Earth may have started from amino acids formed by lightning, a plasma, in the primordial atmosphere, right? So you see how they just did that? You see how this life on Earth may have started from amino acids formed by lightning, a plasma, in the primordial atmosphere. What did we just see? I don't know. I don't know if you would account. All right. So let's say this: if those videos are true and what you were actually witnessing were stars, according to NASA, then the way they were moving, um, a lot of them just freely, would really account as being a form of life, even though it's not a biological form. It's a plasma form of life, right? So this is what I'm trying to connect for us, right? So we can see uh, that the stars in heaven are actually pre-life, or life that has lived on Earth and built up enough energy to be able to sustain up there. How do we build this energy? A lot of people hypothesize that the scriptures, the laws of God, is how you build these energies, and stand away from the negativity, the physical negativity that we actually, or the metaphysical negativity that we actually experience, right? It says a huge array of technologies that define modern society rely on chemical activation of atoms and molecules enabled by plasmas, from lighting to fabrication of the microelectronics devices, from lighting, from lighting to the fabrication of microelectronics devices. Plasmas are increasingly being used to benefit human health and well being, from plasma based medical devices for wound healing and cancer treatment to the use of plasma to enhance growth rate and yield the agriculturally important crops. What about the health? What about acceleration? I seen something I read earlier. Supposed to be able to. Oh, hold on, here we go. Plasmas are increasingly being used to benefit human health and well being, from plasma based medical devices for wound healing and cancer treatment to the use of plasmas to enhance growth rate and yield agriculturally important crops. Plasmas are a source of electromagnetic radiation and, when combined with intense lasers, could act as compact particle accelerators for medical and security imaging and exploration of the frontiers of high energy physics. U.S. national security relies on plasmas, from our strategic weapons to high energy density experiments needed to steward our nuclear deterrent. Plasmas are the basis of one of the most ambitious experiments ever attempted. Controlled nuclear, excuse me, controlled thermonuclear fusion reactions that one day will provide sustainable electricity. Understanding the most fundamental processes in planetary ionospheres and magnetospheres, interstellar space, and in the matter of falling into black holes requires that we first understand the dynamics of plasma. All right. So we see how they're using plasma here on Earth right now today. Like we do everything of the earth. We use the principles of the earth and we to make our life better here. The way the earth works is what we're doing as humans. We're using the applications of the earth. All right, multi-bit data storage states formed in plasma treated MOS2 transistors. Just read the abstract, just so y'all can see where I'm going. Multi-bit memory devices are desirable for improving data storage density and computing speed. Here, we report that multi-layer MOS2 transistors, when treated with plasmas, can dramatically serve as low-cost, non-volatile, highly durable memories with binary and multi-bit data storage capability. I shouldn't even have to finish it. That's it right there. You can store data in plasma, and your memories are stored within the space of your plasma being. It can be identified as, mapped out when you inside of yourself, mapped out where it's located, how energy is emitted, and then read from a device in science in your human self. But when your human self shut down, the plasma still exists, and those memories are also there. I imagine are also still within the plasma. As we can do it here on Earth, whatever created us, this is in the design of man. Obviously, if we're mimicking it here on Earth, storing data in plasmas. Let's go to a video. We seen that one. We seen that one. We see this. Let's see. Look at that shit just float around. It ain't debris. Those are stars. and they're out of the frequency of the moon, so you can't see it. It must be the frequency of the sunlight that's there. Now, some of them can shine as bright as the sun, according to the scripture. Look at that. It's in the back of the payload. It's another one of those STS missions mentioned in the article.
In preventing that hatch handle from rotating to the full unlocked position, which canceled the spacewalk by Jernigan and Jones on Thursday night, and ultimately uh, resulted in a decision by the mission managers to scrub the spacewalks for the rest of the mission. The orbiter, they are taking a number of pictures for Earth observation purposes, also conducting a few experiments down in the middeck area with secondary experiments being carried aboard Columbia. Each of the 5 crew members will engage in
All right. All right. All right. Let's look at another one. Let's look at another one. The stars above, y'all. Look, they float from here and then they go right up here to the moon. Look at that. Come on, man. What is that? They move and then stop. You think that's satellites? We just read what they are. It's a whole scientific report done by several colleges on the matter. Now, they told you that they are stars. What I'm theorizing is that these stars are the actual souls of the dead. You read, I'll show y'all, watch. So many cultures are saying the same thing. Look at that.
Columbia, Houston, can you tell us what your TV view is showing? On the belly side of the orbiter, so we're getting some light scattered down from the very bright tail onto the camera lens, and then the little white dots moving around are little ice surrounding the orbiter. So as
You hear that? So these are ice crystals here. Same day, STS 75. Same day. Let's speed it up. Let's go through it. Ice crystals. Blinking. Look at all of this. Look at all of this information in front of you. Those are ice crystals. How fast are they moving, y'all? See, he just listen.
that picture for everybody on the ground.
See that? So
Great stuff, Columbia.
right. So he just corrected that ass. Cause he said that was damn ice crystals. He said this was ice crystals. And he got put on Front Street.
Columbia, Houston, could you tell us what your TV view is showing?
Right.
Copy that. I was waiting for the.
Listen, that somebody laughed at him.
Copy that. I was waiting for the. Oh, copy that. I was
See, somebody laughed at that dumb explanation. Listen.
Copy that. I was waiting for the opening credits of Star Trek to go down the screen there.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What I got? What else I got? What else I got? Not that. We did that. Plasma Soul, yeah. Multi bit, yes. Zinc Spark. Okay. So there's a plasma reaction that occurs when conception happens in the egg. Right? It says zinc spark induce physiochemical changes in the egg zona pellucid pellucid that prevent polyspermy. So the egg gets harder and prevent more sperms from entering in a zinc spark. Let's see. Billions of atoms burst. No, okay. During fertilization or chemically induced egg activation, the mouse egg releases billions of zinc atoms in brief bursts known as zinc sparks. The zona pellucidea ZP, a glycoprotein matrix surrounding the egg, is the first structure zinc ions encounter as they diffuse away from the plasma membrane. Following fertilization, the SP undergoes changes described as hardening. Okay, so I think that's interesting for you to know as well. And let's get into this PowerPoint. Okay, plasmas, souls, and stars. A scholarly exploration of souls, stars, and eternity by Lance Murray. So I was hoping that I gave you guys enough information so that you can see what I'm saying, so to speak. Well, as I get off into this PowerPoint. Introduction. Across time, cultures have linked human souls with stars. This presentation explores religious, philosophical, and mythological beliefs. Topics include ancient texts, Bible, Dead Sea Scrolls, Vedas, Quran, extra biblical writings, Jubilees, Enoch, Egyptian texts, Christian theology, modern reflections, and cultural connections. Christianity theology. In the book of Matthew 22 and 30, it is written, in the resurrection, they may neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven. And I put that there because we know that often in Christian theology, angels are referred to as stars. Right? In Philippians 3:20 through 1, it states, "Our citizenship is in heaven, transformed to be like his glorious body." So we know that the Most High isn't in a sort of physical form. He's actually kind of is written non-discerning to man, right? But this states that our citizenship is in heaven, transformed to be like his glorious body. Is a heaven described as a place of stars and divine light in Revelation 22:5. The theme of this is eternal souls dwelling in celestial realms, often likened to stars. Biblical text on souls and stars in Genesis 15:5, it states, "Look toward the heavens and count the stars. So shall your offspring be." So back to my question: are the stars souls that have not come, or are they souls who have been righteous on earth and went back up to to dwell in heaven and come again until a reset or whatever? Let me continue. Daniel 12:3, "The wise will shine like the brightness of the heavens." In Job 38:7, "When the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy." Stars singing, the idea that, think about it. Or what if it's more like tone or frequency, vibration, harmonization, right? Unity. And what if that is what it is? Just look at what we just saw. I got to go back to what we just saw. I must return to what we just saw. Look at this again. This is just a different camera angle, same in different camera, same or a lens or whatever. Stars are souls, y'all.
And Columbia Huntsville for Scott. If you haven't adjusted the 35 millimeter intervalometer yet, you could adjust that to 2 seconds. If you've already passed that step, that's no problem, and you can proceed. Okay. Go to 2 seconds on the intervalometer. No problem. Just take a couple seconds to reset.
Look at that. Let's get back to it. I wish I could show them both at the same. I probably can. The theme of this is stars as symbols of divine connection and eternal legacy. You inherit the heaven. Jewish extra biblical text, in the book of Enoch, it states, "The stars are the souls of the righteous." That right there. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, it states, "The sons of light shall shine forth radiant as luminaries." Sons of light. Right? In Jubilees 22, it states that, "May your seed be as the stars of heaven." And the stars of heaven are the righteous souls. Stars of heaven are righteous souls. We just read that, right? The theme of this is righteousness, purity, and divine proximity expressed through celestial imagery. In the Egyptian belief on souls as stars. In the Book of the Dead, it states, "I am the soul of Osiris, shining in the heavens." Ooh, that's a cold connection. In the pyramid text, It states the king joins the imperishable stars in eternity. Come on, man. This is different cultures saying the same thing. We just witnessed it in science. The theme of this stars as immortal resting places for the souls of the righteous. Celestial ascent seen as divine transformation. Come on, rock with me. In the Indian Vedic perspective, in Veda, the soul, like the spark of eternal fire, ascends to the heavens. Right? Because remember, I didn't show you. I'm gonna show y'all before I close out a zinc spark, which is what happens at the conception, what we just read. A big old flash of light comes over the egg and conception, and then the hardening and all that, stopping all of the other sperms coming in occur. In a Bhagavad, I'm sorry, the Bhagavad Gita, the supreme abode is not illumined by the sun or moon. It is eternal. Right? In the Upanishads, the soul ascends to the divine, a spark among the heavenly lights. The soul ascends to the divine, a spark among the heavenly lights. Hear that? Themes, stars as eternal symbol of enlightenment and the soul's journey. In the Mesopotamian beliefs, in the Epic of Gilgamesh, the stars foretold his destiny. So he had to die and ascend as a star. In the Zuggurates, like those pyramids, it said built as earthly links to the stars of heaven and heavens. In the Sumerian cosmology, stars as representations of divine will and eternal truth. The theme of this is the heavens as a reflection of divine order and inevitable return. In the Quran and Islamic mysticism, in the Shura al Najim, if I don't know how to say it, that's what it is. The Shura and Najim, 53 and 1. By the stars when it descends. And the Al Shura Mutafin 83 and 18, the record of the righteous is in Ilion, the highest heaven. Sufi mysticism, the soul ascends to the endless light among the stars. The soul ascends to the endless light among the stars. I don't know why I put some of this stuff in here. Oh, I do understand that one though. All right, stars as a symbol of divine proximity and eternal truth. Cultural and philosophical connections. Plato, he wrote, the soul becomes like a star, immortal and divine. In Mesoamerican Popol Vuh, the ancestors are as stars in the heavens. In Zoroastrian text, the soul ascends to the endless light. The universal themes, stars as eternal symbol of guidance and divinity. And let me see the modern, where is that? Modern reflection, Carl Sagan. We are made of star stuff. Science and spirituality converge in the idea of celestial origins. Stars embody eternity, connection, and human potential. And final thoughts, do we belong to the stars or they belong to us? What do y'all think? What y'all think about that, man? I can go on and on with the information, but I think that I showed enough. I thought that NASA footage was enough. And then, come on, the ghost shit. I probably should have showed more instances where so-called ghosts or ball lightning seem to be living and traversing in real time down here with us. But I want to thank y'all for stopping by. Don't forget, hit the like, subscribe, comment, whatever, call it pseudo. But the ideas are out here among other people. It's not just me. You soon will be outweighed, and you'll find that what you have been taught is the pseudoscience. And the real science is a lot of what you all call pseudo. I'd like to bid you all a good day, and may the Most High bless your houses, your children, your finances, your health. Peace.